For you personally, looking across in this current meta, what is most painful for you to play against? Because I feel like they filled out some pretty good bans here. Everybody's banning these double, Rod of Ages Seraph mid laners, but also a couple of, attention paid here to some of these top laners. It does leave bottom lane open. Lucian Nami has been very, very high presence.
The most exciting matchup we can ever see. Lucian Nami against Zeri Yuumi.
Don't you just love it? And oh no, I believe it just may have been summoned into existence here. You can see the Zeri being hovered, probably just taking the maximum amount of time they got for the comms. Vulcan, what side of this matchup do you like playing more?
I like the Lucian Nami. You have the opportunity to make plays. You kind of decide when you dash in. As Zeri Yuumi, you're just like sitting there waiting for them to go. And then once they go in, you must use everything you have to trade back. Otherwise, if you allow them to just trade and you don't try to trade back at all, they'll kind of just slowly win.
Okay.
So the Lucian Nami side, you got to make plays. You have to play aggressive. You got to call your jungler. You got to be like, okay, this wave is in the middle. I want to dash in. Come behind me. We're going to all in.
So you like being the one with the initiative, the one that has the pressure to make plays.
Yeah.
I would say one of the most annoying junglers right now is Maokai because of the sapling game. And late game checking all these brush that all have saplings in them because the cooldown gets so incredibly low. And it looks like FlyQuest already are going for a little bit later of a team fight, kind of set up for themselves.
Right.
Yeah. I'm expecting the Maokai to be probably one of the strongest stage champs that maybe doesn't do so well in scrims, but on stage when the game is so much slower and you get to your 2-item power spike as Maokai, you start fighting for the 3rd, 4th Drake.
Yeah.
Baron setup when you have saplings everywhere, your ult covers the entire screen. By the way, when Maokai presses ult, I see it everywhere.
And there we go, 3rd game in a row that we're going to see Jax locked in. It'll be Summit playing that one. Remember, if you will, even though he was only here for a split and then left the league, he got MVP while he was here. And this is the kind of guy who can absolutely carry a game from the top lane. No Yuumi, it's a Lulu locked in with a Zeri, another common pairing here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because I remember seeing a few days ago the LCK stats on the matchup, and Lucian Nami was actually 6-0 against Zeri Lulu. I haven't seen the updated stats since there's been a few more game days, but usually Lucian Nami favored. I'm expecting them to come out on top.
Yeah, we'll see about the junglers here because junglers now going to start to absorb some bans. Especially here for the side for Team Liquid, Sejuani already gone. Then you have to choose between, Vi and like Wukong. Usually people go Vi versus Zeri, so you can have the point and click guaranteed lockdown. See if FlyQuest feel like protecting Prince in that way, or if there's like, what, it's up in the air.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Vi ban come out. I think Sejuani is also a good one because I've seen a lot of Sejuani versus Maokai where Sejuani just hard engages on top of him, and if you get on Maokai, he's actually quite squishy, and that's a very good way to play against him, so getting rid of the hard engage.
How do we feel about the LeBlanc ban instead, leaving that Vi open?
I'm not sure. LeBlanc doesn't feel like that strong right now whenever I have JoJo playing it, but maybe after today's game, maybe, I don't want to blame the champion too much. I don't know.
When Haeri's playing it,
maybe it hits different. Maybe it hits different.
A little bit of a target there on his back.
All right, one more to go. The Akali, the LeBlanc, a little bit of attention being paid to Assassins here. Okay, Sylas, we're not going to get to see him for a 3rd game in a row. Both bottom lanes have been locked in, but a top and a jungler means this second half is a bit lopsided here. Who does FlyQuest want to pick? I would expect it to be their top. Oh, wait.
Yuumi, Lulu, you get both.
Yeah, it's a shout out.
Okay. Hey, after game 1, man, support Azir. I don't know what's going on anymore. All right? Let's see.
Looks like we're going to get Azir in his rightful place, back in the mid lane, in the hands of Vicla, setting up, again, that team fight that we kind of identified. When the first 2 picks are Zeri and Maokai, definitely looking for that structure for that 5-on-5 for later.
Yeah, I think we might see the Syndra come out for Haeri. Otherwise, maybe the Ahri or Victor, but I'm thinking Syndra might be the strongest champ. The Vi comes out.
Yep.
Yep.
Without that banned away, surely. We've seen it so many times against Zeri, like last year when Zeri and Sivir had taken over the meta. Not surprised to see it back here.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear always, you're trying to point and click, lock down that Zeri. It feels like FlyQuest, though, are like, you know what, go ahead, have some dive, and they feel confident in their counter initiation here with so much feel.
There it is.
they're just
That's
like
not Palafox up there. He's not gonna.
That's a curse of being a commentator. You get excited seeing something hovered like
and
the Yeon.
They're just trolling you.
Here's Syndra, man. Enjoy.
Sorry,
Enjoy.
I'll stop doing it.
Look at the fun we could have had. Yeah, but it made your heart beat a little. You're gonna get
get you a little excited.
Raise that blood pressure a little bit.
Now this is an impact staple. We have seen him on this champion so many times throughout his career. I'm sincerely hoping that we get to see it locked in against the Jax, and yes, we will.
You got a pentakill last year on this champ.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So, Vulcan, let me ask you this. We see all 10 champions locked in now. Which comp do you favor more, and what's your reasoning?
I think TL's comp has a lot of playmaking ability. Fly's comp, if they get to all of their spikes into a 5v5 on soul fight or something like that, I could see them come out on top. But I feel like if TL play their cards right and look for plays, they play aggressive, I feel like they should be able to snowball this game out of control for Fly.
Which is exactly what you talked about liking to do yourself, right? Be in that driver's seat.
Right.
Even if you have that pressure that you may get outscaled, the ability to make the right play early, the ball's in your court.
Yeah, and that's so much more fun than sitting under a turret and hoping that the team lets you breathe a little bit.
And I feel like if there's one on the side of Team Liquid, it is current world champion.
Too aggressively, there's a chance that Zeri Lulu can turn on you. And it's also interesting he went for Cleanse rather than Ignite. We've seen some Lucian opt for the Ignite. Cleanse makes him a little bit safer, but I do like the Ignite. You know, play aggressive.
And on what you were talking about earlier, guys, with the ability for FlyQuest to say, all right, have some dive, we're going to outplay this, we've got the defense. You can see Prince with barrier, Winsome with heal, going for maximum defensive capabilities here to guarantee that Zeri stays alive and survives the dive. So eyes on Pyosik to see if he can keep that lockdown right where it needs to be. Yeon and CoreJJ, the pressure's on.
Spica's ready to cook already. All right, he's starting now. Let the cooking timer begin.
Uh-oh, they're on a ward. Nothing happens.
Yep,
That's
unlucky. Unlucky.
Have you scrimmed against Team Liquid specifically yet? Because they're coming in this game with so much confidence. Pyosik did an interview and he was joking around that he would retire if they lost to FlyQuest. And CoreJJ was tweeting out, he was like, no one would believe me before if I told you Haeri and Yeon are better than Vicla and Prince, but after today, people will believe me. Is that normal boisterous talk, or have you scrimmed against them? You have actual data for us.
I mean, I feel like CoreJJ historically always hypes up his teammates like that.
Yeah.
I think back when he was playing with Tactical, he said he's the next ruler. I think he's just a good teammate who hypes up his boys. So, but I have scrimmed TL, and I would say they're probably the strongest teams we've faced. We haven't scrimmed everyone, but the teams we haven't scrimmed are probably not the ones that we would expect to be at the top. So,
fair enough.
Yeah,
they will remain unnamed. I like it. Some respect.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. He's navigating things well. Like, this is a natural born neutral commentator, my friend.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly, exactly. We're all just keeping it above the belt here. Summit versus Impact up here in this top side. The Gangplank into the Jax this time. Last game, we got to see it up against the Olaf. We saw how that sort of swung back and forth throughout the craziness of that matchup.
I did not like that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a wild one there, buddy. I thought you guys were going to make quick work of it, and then we were here for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to stay on my chair for so long. My back hurts now.
Well, hey, that's why we got you standing up now, right? You got
it's good.
to warm up the legs a little bit, get some of the circulation going.
So it wasn't a team idea for JoJo to start beating and extend the game time on stage.
Maybe he had a one-on-one with our coaches where they were like, Jojo, you know, you have a good reputation already.
Yeah.
Our new teammates probably want to do well on their first game. You can afford to run it down, make the game a little bit longer. More practice.
What a considerate dude. What a team player. While we were talking about it, Vicla did have his flash blown mid lane. Pyosik showed up for a very early gank here, just applying some pressure there, getting rid of that safety summoner spell from the enemy mid laner. Now Spica's going to return the favor. Maokai just walking up here, twisted advance right onto Haeri, who tries to get away from the follow-up damage. The soldiers can't get a stab, and Haeri lives.
Yeah, that was close.
Flashes blown here for both mid laners then, but Pyosik has the easier repeat because Vi with Q charging and then flashing and be able to get your Q off afterwards, you can close so much distance. So Vicla definitely going to have to be extra safe there. And Pyosik's not even done.
He charges over the wall. Vaultbreaker misses Spica, but Maokai's not much of a duelist against Vi, so he's going to back away from that one. Vicla now seeing that the enemy jungler is still hanging around. He's going to get back underneath this turret. He's going to go ahead, go back and shop. I expect to see both these junglers paying a lot of attention to mid throughout this early game, but now it's Spica going topside. He'll look for Summit here. Remember, he already used his flash in mid, throws the sapling into the brush for vision, but doesn't want to chase Summit any further. Now bottom, it's Lucian, Nami. It's Yeon and CoreJJ trying to put that pressure onto Prince and Winsome, getting them down to about half HP, but the problem is Yeon has no mana left, so Lucian not nearly as much of a threat without being able to sling those spells.
He has a few cookies in the pantry though, so he might be able to stay and keep trading. This is good for Lucian Nami. This is what you want to be doing. You pop the barrier from Zeri there, so you can keep looking to trade aggressively. Also, it's quite good that Spica traded his flash with Haeri. I think at level 6, one Vicla as the shuffle. He can play pretty aggressively. They can have an angle to actually take him out. So not too bad of a trade.
Yeah, we were looking at which of these volatile lanes are the junglers going to target, and mid lane early on blowing all these cooldowns. Now it's about repeat ganks, and you start to look for these wards that they're putting up around mid to cut those off. Top side is completely warded right now, and Vicla just spots Pyosik on his second Raptor clear, so should be able to track him.
Yeah, I like what Prince did here. He based before the wave crashed, and he was able to hop the wall from Fountain to like kind of cheat his recall, where he gets back to lane so fast. And he's a little bit behind, but it's kind of expected in this matchup. He comes back with the Vamp Scepter. I like what he's doing. I think he'll get to stack a wave since he's first, and he'll probably recall again on the crash.
So you talk a little bit about him being behind. That's expected. What do you consider an acceptable level of being behind in this matchup for Zeri Lulu? Like, how much pressure does Lucian Nami have to get? Is it first turret? Is it getting a kill or two? What's kind of the magic mark, you think?
It's kind of hard to get the turret. Also, once Zeri hits 6, it's much harder for Lucian Nami to flex on them so hard. I think it's up to the Lucian Nami to usually get Drake and Rift. That's like the two big things.
Okay.
It might be hard to actually get a kill on them, but if you're able to roam first, secure those objectives, I think that's quite good. But it's also something that Zeri, you can be happy to give a Rift if you're confident in your scaling. This game, for example, Fly has 3 scaling lanes, so they'll probably end up giving the Rift. So I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think FlyQuest definitely looking to neutralize right now. Keep as little variability as they possibly can. Problem is, Pyosik here on the Vi has Flash and approaching the level 6, going out towards his red buff right now. See if they can get one of those repeat ganks, because mid laner's Flash is still down. As you said, the barrier for Prince was the only bottom lane summoner spell that was actually used, so they're relatively safe. And you see these passes from Spica on the Maokai, ensuring that they can get some vision cleared back out and trying to leave behind saplings as well.
Yeah, another thing to look out for is how Zeri got a lot of solo EXP on that wave when she did base, and Winsome tried to freeze. So he's going to get an earlier 6 timing, which is so important for Zeri in any matchup because she's so much stronger when she's 6. I'm thinking she might get it on this full wave. You can see if they look for a play.
Ooh, level 6 for Spica as he's waiting in the brush, but not going to do anything with it right now. You can see the left side of your screen. It's 3 out of 4 solo laners at level 7 so far. Still needs a little bit more for Summit to hit that mark himself. Gold's very close between the two teams here. Not any huge advantages. The past couple of games, we've seen some massive leads in a couple of the lanes, but everything's pretty standard here between these two teams that a lot of people have ranked very highly in their preseason power rankings, sort of speculating on where everybody's going to land. So I wanted to ask you, Vulcan, who do you think by the end of the season, not here right now today, is going to be the better of these two?
I would have to go with TL. I think once their rookies kind of settle in, they get more stage practice. I feel like they'll only be better, right? And I think Fly, well, they're playing with the sub support right now, so they're going to take more time to gel. And overall, I would just expect TL to be the stronger team, and just the fact that they have 2 rookies, I feel like they have more potential.
Yeah, and I love the pairing that Team Liquid has done. You know, when you've got CoreJJ to build a team around, he has such good culture for the team. They want to outwork everyone. They've been very clear. They're like, all right, everybody else, is kind of 50-50 on are we going to do these double blocks of 3-hour scrims, and Team Liquid just adds another block. Plus, then they have solo queue and Champions queue games afterwards. So they're trying to be like the example of outwork, I guess, everybody else in the league. But here's the Rift Herald swap.
Syndra's actually bot right now. It's good that Maokai was able to pull it back because they want to be doing this right now. Syndra's going to be catching a ball with. Looks like TL will like to give this.
FlyQuest has control over the topside river. TL's, I mean, they're hanging around, but it's just so dangerous to step up. Yeah, you can see there's no way for Haeri to become involved. Considering FlyQuest has this total control, I don't think anybody's moving in to stop them. So first neutral objective goes their way. They've got a very, very modest gold lead to go along with it. Haeri's going to try to catch up some of that here, taking down the second plate in the bottom lane, at least trying to get something cross-map. And you can see pings coming out from FlyQuest towards the Drake now, too, with that topside neutral confirmed.
So grab the Scuttle Crab real quick while they have the priority on bottom side as well. Get that lasting vision, and the extra turret play picked up here for Haeri, for Syndra. Definitely going to go a long ways. Let's see if they can set up and deny this dragon. Ultimate available for Pyosik if anybody steps out of line, so nobody here from FlyQuest wants any action. Like we kind of said, they're scaling, and they did get the Rift Veil there, so that's a lot of gold that's going to help out their scaling. As long as they don't have any casualties, I think they'll be happy.
It slows down a lot of the snowballing for TL. I think it's very good for their comp that they're able to do that. I think even though Syndra got a little bit on bot, I feel like Rift is more valuable than the wave and a half and play that he denied. It's arguable, but it's quite good to deny the play. Also, they don't have to worry about, let's say for example right now, if they did add Rift and Spica shows bot, maybe Vi can go top and look for a Rift play when they have numbers advantage.
Yeah, I definitely do love grabbing Rift Code way more than before when they added the extra 200 gold onto local for just grabbing it as well. So
yeah,
gonna get their nice full turret plate value as well as the cash in here for the bottom lane. Ideal area to try and funnel some more money into this Zeri.
We take those. We
definitely take those, especially if it's Prince. You know, Prince is one of the most hyped up, transports that we've had into the LCS.
Yeah.
Super hyped up for bottom lane especially. Were you sweating at all? You feeling the pressure? Did you look at some of his LCK games? And
oh yeah, I've seen some of the things he's done in LCK. He has good movement, I have to say. After playing against him a few times, he can dodge abilities.
Well, that's the whole goal for Pyosik and TL, is to lock him down, blow him up before he can dodge away from all that. FlyQuest still have themselves an early game lead right now, which is a little concerning for TL, but not the end of the world. Nice little triple barrel combo there from Impact. I always enjoy watching really good Gangplank players because the character just looks entirely different compared to your average GP.
It does make me want to play the champ. It's a very fun champ to play. It's very smooth to pop your barrels.
Satisfying explosions for sure. The scaling story continues for FlyQuest all three lanes as well. Impact getting some extra gold, obviously out of the passive. So even though the CS is very close up there for him in Summit,
right?
Got a little bit of extra money. It is drawing a little bit of extra attention as well, though, from Pyosik. And we haven't seen a Vi ult used yet to try and push this game state forward.
Yeah, that's one thing we were talking about, expecting a lot of repeat ganks towards mid, a lot of pressure after those flashes were blown, but neither jungler was able to capitalize on that, so mid laners have flashes back up. Honestly, flashes available for every single player on the Rift right now. Summit is just trying to dare Impact to go after him. Backs up a little bit here. You can see the Vault Breaker charging, but Impact's not taking any bait.
He's too old. He's seen everything.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
So much is always talked about with Impact and how much he brings to the teams in his communication. Obviously, you're just coming off of playing a bunch with him. What's your interpretation of like what kind of stuff Impact would be calling for this game? Is he trying to like calm people down, remind everyone to scale, or?
Oh. I think so. Oh.
Hold on. Pyosik goes for the ulti, but Pyosik is just immediately shuffled back underneath the turret. Pyosik nearly dead here, trying to make that play on Vicla. You can see the Maokai ulti comes out and it catches him. Spica, first blood's the world champ.
I just want to say that's the one NA player on the Rift, and he gets first blood, so.
Let's go, Spica! The deadly cats, deadliest cats I've ever seen. They finally catch him. He goes in to finish it off with style with the smite too. He also tweeted, "Let me cook." That's what this game has been. It's been cooking. 13 minutes of cooking there.
He's gonna cook some saplings later too.
Spica serves him up.
Man, oh man, you can see Pyosik's idea there, but just not respecting Vicla enough, flashing underneath the turret. That is one of the ways that you can outplay both Vi and Maokai with Twisted Advance, and the Vi ultimate, you can bring them to a different spot if you're fast enough on the reaction time, and here he did it.
Goes in, flashes him under tower. Tower start coming through. Just the end of the Azir ultimate. Nice little tag there. Pyosik didn't think he had to flash it because he was so close to the edge, and then the little bit of a late flash. That last kitten grabs him.
Yeah, I think if he waits to see if Syndra stun lands, there's a very good chance if the stun actually does hit that they can completely one-shot the Azir. But no, yeah, good reaction by Vicla to be able to flash out Azir.
Vicla looking good here at the start. Has his Luden's Echo done. Turret plating is gone, so I expect to see these teams, you know, swap around a little bit, look to make something happen here, knock some of these objectives over. FlyQuest still got about a 1,000 gold lead, 45 seconds till our next Drake spawns. It was TL grabbing the first one, and that's about the biggest advantage they have right now. Topside's feeling all right with Summit and Impact still being neck and neck. And you can see bottom lane, Yeon has the Gale Force completed, but still no Imperial mandate for CoreJJ, so they're not at the complete one-item power spike for that duo just yet. Nice bubble. Pyosik ready to follow it up, finds Spica. Twisted advances right back onto him, ready to walk away. Pyosik just goes right on in. He's got backup. Spica flashes now as Winsome loses 2/3 HP. Vicla seeing if there's a follow-up to find. CoreJJ and Yeon running out. CoreJJ flashes out of the shuffle to be able to keep himself alive as Vicla looks for a little more damage. Both Team Liquid bottom laners now very, very low on HP. Pyosik also less than half. Even though FlyQuest took some damage, they still came out on top.
Yeah, I think it's very beneficial there for FlyQuest. They're so happy. They have the gold lead, and they're able to get the health lead ahead of this dragon to stop a dragon stacking strategy for Team Liquid. Definitely very, very big stuff. Even though there's not a lot of kills going down here, I feel like it keeps on being these small wins for FlyQuest.
Yeah, Yeon was actually quite lucky there that the Azir didn't knock him back fully. He actually bonked into the wall, which basically just knocked him up in place, and he didn't have to blow his flash. Also, CoreJJ sadly still doesn't have the mandate. Once he has it, he's so much stronger. It's like a completely different champ once it's completed. I'm assuming next recall he'll be able to complete that, and then they can look for much more plays.
Well, man, let me tell you guys, it's a conversation we've been having since the start of the game, and we can't stop having it because the clock favors FlyQuest, right? Every second we move forward is another second that Team Liquid's losing out on the control they have in the game right now, and FlyQuest is already up 1,500 gold. So Vulcan, as a guy who plays a role that's about making clutch decisions, making the right move at the right time, what would you want to see from TL here to make sure that things don't keep continuing the wrong direction for him?
I think they have to try to gank people. I feel like this Gangplank is killable. If Lucian shows up after getting mid-prio and runs to a side lane with Vi ulting on GP, there's a chance that they can get the ball going. Also, I think even though the scaling favors Fly for sure, I feel like TL has so much playmaking ability on their comm that they should be able to contest in late game anyway. But they definitely have to be creative and look for angles.
Okay.
Yeah, looking for Pyosik to lead the charge and set something up. Meanwhile, Spica's leading the charge here for FlyQuest. Get some extra vision here via sapling to allow impact on that Gangplank. Push right back out, up to the turret, and pretty good pressure for them. You mentioned the mid push being vital here for Team Liquid to try and get a move, but Prince here with Winsome at his back is able to keep it pretty even.
Summit finds his way onto Impact, who calls down the ult. He's got the barrel. Just gonna stopwatch to give the ult the extra time. Flash and shot in the back. It's an outplay from Impact.
And a late flash there for Summit as well. So Summit splashes down and he dies.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Impact's too clean, man. He's been doing this for too long. Team Liquid making the dive bottom lane. Should be easy money. Haeri ends up getting paid for it, but that's what they had to find. They bring one back, they find their first kill of the game. Problem is, FlyQuest is already locked and loaded back here in mid. Spica soaks the culling to protect the minions to try to buy enough time for the team to take down the turret, and they will.
Yeah, getting mid turret is so important in any game, honestly. Mid tier 1 makes you so that you're so much safer when you contest mid wave. Once it's down, especially with the Maokai on the other team, you can come from the side, ult the mid lane. It's so huge that it's kind of hard to contest mid wave. Very big win for FlyQuest.
Yeah, and you see him now too, moving into the enemy jungle, leaving these saplings around in the brush is one of the most annoying things. Enemy jungle coming in with, you know, all these escape routes. Now that mid turret is down, there's wards, there's saplings flying around. It becomes very difficult for Team Liquid to do exactly what you wanted from them, and that is to be able to get an early move, make these priority plays with the Vi, get some engages on picking people off, because they do have the playmaking. It's just that if FlyQuest have so much information on them and they see it coming, it's gonna be difficult to pull off. Old man Impact here with the stopwatch,
He still
baby.
got it.
He still got it. Use that noggin.
It looked good at the start for Summit, but then unfortunately, he got greedy at the end. Thought he could just use the leap strike to get away.
You
but
don't miss.
No, Impact having that, it's hard to miss with a point and click. You just pop the gun and have some fun. There's not a whole lot of ways for Jax to get out of that one, but nicely played from Impact. That stopwatch really just catching his opponent off guard with the damage from the ulti, having that bit of extra time to seal the deal. FlyQuest with a 2,500 gold lead as both junglers turn their attention back towards the top lane. Spica's standing on a ward. He's not aware of that. He's got his sapling in the brush next to him. There are a lot of Team Liquid players nearby. Pyosik gonna charge over the wall as they drop the blue trinket into the brush just to make sure nothing Unsightly is waiting for him there. Summit's gonna turn right back around. He's going after Spica. Spica with a flash away. Pyosik with the follow. Pyosik might be able to grab the kill here. He will. He almost gets out, but he won't find it. It's a 1-for-1 with junglers. Core's nearly dead, but nearly ain't gonna do it. Prep with the flashback over the wall. He stays alive too, but now TL has to get out of town. A double killer to Spica, thanks to a sapling. He stepped on a landmine, and CoreJJ drops 2.
Oh my god, another one. The demonic embrace saplings. Slowly watching yourself burn to death here as a champion with healing as well is so freaking painful. Haeri, though.
That's really the worst way to go. He was probably watching the end of that fight, walking away like, oh, nice, I made it out. That's good.
Demonic Embrace is getting nerf on the hotfix speed patch that's coming out, but...
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, still going to be powerful.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I actually wanted to ask your opinion ahead of this, since we're only going to be on this patch for this week. How do you feel about the upcoming Yuumi nerfs? Like, this is a popular topic among the community at large.
Devastated, I feel,
yeah, oh yeah, it's very painful. I've been trying to expand my champion pool, see if I can replace her with anything. The void that she's going to leave.
That's exactly the kind of answer I was hoping for, but you can see here, Spica lived just long enough to drag Pyosik back underneath the turret.
Yeah, flash for junglers and ult for ult, both junglers. E goes down, Impact gets him with another Q in the back, and it's enough damage for the sapling to kill. This sapling here, you can tell, oh, there it goes, the kid's running, CoreJJ gives it a hug, and is able to burst him down. Meanwhile, Prince there got me kind of excited as he jumped in on the Zeri versus 3. I was looking for a highlight play.
I saw the pentakill angle.
Yeah, I saw the angle as well. Doesn't manifest though.
Not yet. Maybe after his 3rd item. I like that he's playing this way though. I think it's nice to see a Zeri play this aggressive.
Yeah, jump right in, pop the ultimate. Does have to burn the flash, but FlyQuest are in such a strong position here. You can see even kind of casually taking the dragon. Pyosik does go for the attempt on the steal here. Q over the wall. Not quite timing it correctly there, though, to get it. Dragon already secured by FlyQuest.
They're in a very comfortable position right now, up 2 Drakes against TL's comp.
And they see all of TL around the bottom lane after having arrived late to the Drake, and that means FlyQuest is calling for a Baron. It's only 21 minutes into the game, and they're going to try to force it down. Summit's in bottom lane. He has no TP. FlyQuest can at least turn and force TL to show up. They won't even have to worry about it. They got Baron before 22 minutes.
Open.
FlyQuest, baby, they're here to stay. My goodness, crazy changes for this organization. I mean, what an off season for them. You know, picking up a bunch of staff as well as all of these players. Nice video from Avali. I like the music video coming out, trying to hype them up as well. Do you feel like they're going to be one of your main challengers at the top for the entire season?
I thought so at first, and then we scrimmed them. And
But
after this game, maybe they're just stage players and they don't perform too well in scrims. But that was a very good call by them because Azir, GP, and Maokai all do Baron super fast.
Yeah.
Very good call to finish TL there.
Well, both of our junglers have Radiant Virtue completed now, so extra team fight power, initiation power, that healing and ability haste buff to everybody on the squad that follows them up. But things are getting more and more difficult for Team Liquid to be able to execute on that playmaking and on those picks that you were talking about, Vulcan. And for FlyQuest, it's 2 minutes of Baron control across the Rift that they can try to continue building this lead with. Haeri goes bottom, looks for a lot of damage onto Impact, but even with expending the ulti, doesn't really force any true fear out of him. And with that extra pressure coming down bottom from Team Liquid, the rest of FlyQuest is ready to reinforce their top laner and support him as he retreats.
And look at how aggressively they're playing while they've got Vicla at top with his teleport cooldown not even up. You know, Azir is just split pushing top while the 4 members of FlyQuest are drawing every single resource Team Liquid have to this bottom side. And TL, not only do they not get a pick, they don't even clear out all the vision in their own jungle. So
yeah, that was really good by FlyQuest because you want to be playing on the line where you're stepping up, trying to get as much space as you can, getting the waves as high as you can, and still not dying when you're down a man.
And FlyQuest are going to pick up another turret here. That'll take them up to a 4-2 lead in that department. Still 60 seconds left to go on the Baron, but they don't want to push any harder here in the bottom lane. Vicla retreating up in top back towards the brushes. Gonna make sure he doesn't extend too far while he's the only man out on the map for his team, recognizing that everybody else had already fallen back.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
All right, as a team that just got a lead in a stage LCS game, and then fumbled it a little bit there. Oh, never mind. We don't even have time to set it up because Spica's going to take the X-Gates right in. But if you're FlyQuest, you know, how do you go about playing all lanes to keep your pressure up and close this game out without giving, you know, that opening back into it? I mean, yes, they have the benefit of some very strong scaling as well, but
yeah, I think it's up to Spica to track enemy jungler and see what plays they want to make. He's been doing a pretty good job at it so far, where he's just showing up in the enemy jungle, placing saplings. He's only died once when he was on that ward, right? So I think that maybe you can say it's unlucky, but I think he's been doing a pretty good job at just neutralizing the plays that TL want to go for.
I mean, even his one death, he took 2 players from TL with him thanks to that sapling placement that caught CoreJJ. So still delivering value, still finding it worthwhile. 1.5 minutes before our next Drake spawns. FlyQuest currently has a lead there as well. And I mean, if you're Team Liquid, do you even fight for this Drake in open ground, or you just give this one?
I think it'll depend on how they're able to push sideways. Jax currently has ball wave pretty pushed in. So if they're able to actually be there first, where Maokai doesn't have saplings in every single bush, it is much easier. So we'll see how much Jax is able to push sideways.
Ooh, speaking of the Jax, goes after Vicla here, who just shuffles him away. Spica eating a lot of damage from culling. The Lucian pretty strong, so gonna force him back with that one. But Jax at least getting the ulti out of the Azir there. 50 seconds left on the timer for the Drake, so that'll be up around the same time, I do believe, as Pyosik clears out some of the vision, taking the opportunity to make this dragon setup as difficult as possible for FlyQuest.
It looks like TL has to take a reset though, so FlyQuest coming out of base, this Maokai is going to portal right into the river. He is going to start dropping saplings in every bush, and I want to wish good luck to TL.
good luck, have fun, walking through the minefields. Yeah, FlyQuest are also not even...
Oh, hold on. We got Prince going in. Prince just dives Yeon and blows him up.
Yeah,
now Pyosik's going to try to get away. The Lulu buffing Prince as much as possible as Spica and Impact look for a kill here onto Summit as well, who flashes out of the way. He gets caught by the very end of the Maokai ulti. And here's the flash, twisted advance, knocked back into the barrel, explosion. He'll burn on down with Yeon and Summit out of the picture. I don't think that Drake's going anywhere but FlyQuest's hands.
Yeah, I would love to hear the comms on the TL side, because that one's looking a little bit doomed.
It's tough, man. It's tough after one of those. Prince immediately going in. You guys talked earlier. I like seeing aggressive Zeri play. How about that?
Yeah, that was aggressive. He's diving through 2 alone.
Yeah, he's been farming all game. You can definitely tell he's itching for some kills, and FlyQuest just everywhere they go, they can't do any wrong at this point. Their lead is so big, just murdering every Team Liquid member they run into.
So, all right. What's the pep talk? That's what I want. How do you get you guys back in the game? You're down 5,500 gold.
Back in the game. Wait a second.
Wait, hold on. Vicla, let's see if he can outplay this one. He's got a TP coming in, looking to keep him alive.
There we
the
go.
First kill goes over. Summit picks up Vicla, but now Impact's ready to fight back. Summit with a counter-strike, re-engages. He doesn't think he's got any way out, so he's ready to take someone down, but Impact gets the kill. Now CoreJJ's on the run. He dies. A double kill back over to Impact. Pyosik can't do a thing as Haeri and Yeon try to get away. Spica won't be able to chase any further, but FlyQuest just traded 1 for 3, and now what's that? Baron spawning in 10 seconds. How convenient for this squad that is showing up on day 1.
Yeah, there's some of the playmaking you're talking about. It's just a little bit too late in the game now, so they get up this successful kill, and it's just counter kills coming left and right.
To go back to your point about the pep talk, I think at this point, you're not getting back in the game. Yeah. So you're just like, all right, guys, first game of the season, you know, we're getting the jitters out for our rookies.
Now.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be better.
Full cope now from Coach Vulcan.
It's a mental go next.
It is. You gotta save energy for tomorrow. You know, you got another game to play.
Well, let's take another look at how this started, because TL saw the angle, and they did get this first kill on Vicla.
Okay. The emote beforehand, I like that too. Let them know you're coming. They secure the kill by ultimate into Jax. Nice bubble landing from 4-2. Okay. Here's where it starts to go wrong, though. The rest of FlyQuest arrive. The
Maokai was looking balanced.
Yeah, Maokai ultimate, you said in Champ's like, yeah, it's so fun. It covers the whole screen in the counter engage here, and Impact's able to pick up the double.
Impact getting jumped on again. They're trying to kill this top laner, but he survives, and he survives with enough firepower to hit right on back. Pyosik will drop 2, but at least he trades one with Vicla. 4v3 on the map, favoring FlyQuest.
There he goes.
Prince goes in, pops the ulti, sidesteps bubble. Doesn't have enough speed to stay on top of him, so the remaining 3 players of TL survive. But FlyQuest has Baron, and they've got a position to push the tier 3.
I'm sad Zeri couldn't get in. I was a bit underwhelmed after the last play he made. That would have been fun if he killed everyone there.
It's 11-4, 10,000 gold. They're on Soul Point. Anathema's chains done for Spica to just give him that extra little bit of tankiness here. Top die is back. I agree. Person from Twitter, it seems that Impact has not lost any of his style after switching squads.
Why y'all let him cook? Honestly, that's kind of how you feel, right? You look at the drafts and you're like, oh, you know, it's some early playmaking. You know, you've got the utensils. You got to stop them from cooking.
The utensils?
They cook too much.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
The Vi ultimate, you know, the ninja stuns. It's
a good angle.
utensils.
Uh-oh. Maokai ulti comes out, finds 2. Prince providing the damage over the wall. Haeri's got not a lot left. Prince is unstoppable, man. The late game scary Zeri ready to carry.
You hate to see it because this Maokai ult should not have rooted that many people. I think the tanking...
Yeah, line up a little, you know, single file, everybody.
They need geometry classes.
Well, with that kill on the enemy mid laner, FlyQuest knows it is open season on the enemy base. They take down the tier 3 in mid. Inhibitor should drop immediately. Vicla just jumps in to zone Yeon and CoreJJ away. Bottom lane, that inhibitor's ripe for the taking next. They'll eliminate that and move on to Nexus turrets. First Nexus turret's already half dead. TL's got to try to defend 4v5 for the next 15 seconds. Prince providing the damage. First Nexus turret down. Team Liquid, they need some sort of an angle. They need some sort of a way to go in. Decent attempt there from Pyosik, buffering his ulti through the Azir wall, but it won't matter. Prince kills Yeon in the fountain. A double kill to the FlyQuest AD carry, and FlyQuest just stopped Team Liquid here. 13,000 gold lead, 11 kills ahead. Quadra kill in the first game. Can Prince get it? No, but Winsome should end it here. GG. FlyQuest get their first win.
Resounding W for FlyQuest. We might have to put a warning on this VOD about watching it. Welcome to the new FlyQuest, though. They are looking good.
That was not safe for work, that's for sure.
No. We got to put some spoiler tags on that. Everything else. FlyQuest looked good. Spica was finding the angles in the jungle. Impact was finding the outplays in the top lane. They couldn't get the Lucian